Welcome. So good to have you on the other side while we're here giving you all the teas happening across the world in general. Welcome to Fuze Unbothered, guys, brought to you by Upfront and Personal. My name is Medici, and I'm not here alone.
I'm here, Gabby with Medici. I'm here, Gabby with Medici. As usual, we're here for you.
That's right.
Maybe
he's not here
today.
Well, hopefully he will join us tomorrow.
He will.
Okay, now we're going to be starting off with a very interesting story by popular Nollywood actor Emeka Ike. Now, Emeka Ike has come out to talk about domestic violence, abusive marriages, and all of that. But we're going to go on a quick break right now. When we come back, we'll be spilling the tea.
I used to care for the world's opinion.
Next.
I used to fear their rejection. I used to beg for validation. And I used to wait to be seen. But the fire that burned in me was hotter. And the passion that lived in me had a voice of its own. So I stopped waiting and started to act. I stopped fearing and started to live. And when they thought I'd fail, I stepped into my power.
Because my time is now.
Amstel Malta, be your best.
Fuze Unbothered.
Okay, so Gabby, it's quite disturbing that we don't get to hear much about abusive women in marriages. I mean, all we hear is the male gender abusing their wives, girlfriends, and all of that. And Emeka Ike has come out to say that we should not be blind to this, that in as much as men don't actually speak up, things like this actually go on. I mean, he actually gave his experience. So he was married a few years ago, and his marriage was actually dissolved in 2017. That's quite a long time. And it was actually the case of domestic violence. Now, he accused his wife of maltreating him while she actually accused him of doing same now. So the actual abuser wasn't actually confirmed, but they are divorced now with 4 children, which Emeka Ike has full custody of. Now, I feel like a lot of times we don't get to hear this all the time because men, should I say men they have this alter ego. They don't want to, they don't want to show that they are vulnerable. And so we don't get to hear how women abuse men. And it doesn't necessarily have to be beating or carrying something as to, it could be mere words, or using your children and all that. So he has come out to say there should be an advocacy for this, not just talking about the male abusers, but also women abusers actually exist.
No, of course. I mean, I'm not even going to doubt that. You know, I feel like I've said this thing before, and I feel like I say it, you know, like a lot of times. And he specifically was talking about manipulation, you know, from, you know, the female gender. And he was saying that, you know, it's very important to talk about these things and know that be careful of women that are coming to you for your money. He was specific about that because he was saying that, you know, we have other people that are not as successful and are males, and they don't face some of the things that other successful males face. You know, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to refer to Johnny Depp and Amber Heard story, you know, but I'm just saying, he was basically saying that, you know, successful men, you know, are mostly in that position where they have like women, you know, coming to them to manipulate them, and only coming to them because of their money or because of their resources, because of fame or whatever it is that they have. So yes, it's from the other, just as you said, men don't talk too much about some of the struggles that they go through, especially within their home. Maybe that's why there's a lot of, you know, talks about women, you know, facing domestic violence, and it's less than, you know, that of men. But I think it's a good thing that he's sharing, you know, letting people know that sometimes abuse is not gender specific.
That's right.
That's right. I mean, that's very important. I'll just say that people should be very careful. Most times when we talk about these things is when somebody has come out, domestic, you know, somebody's talking about domestic violence, somebody has been abused.
Most times, especially when it's led to death. Exactly.
That's when people come out. And I always keep saying it. Most of the people that commit these crimes, they never intended that they would kill their partners. A lot of times, the intention was not to kill. It's just toxic behavior that they displayed. And I feel like it starts gradually. Yes. And so when you give it and you see that the other person takes it, then it becomes a habit. So, I mean, it's high time we talk about it. And now we're you know, woke generation where everybody knows that it's not one-sided. It's not just for the men, you know, it's for the women as well. Everybody should just, you know, be more conscious of checking their character. Be a kind person before anything else. That's the only way you can live with people and be at peace, you know. So yeah.
simple moments where you get. Show your style, no go limit yourself. I beg you, no let worries scatter your head. Oh, don't forget, oh, make sure say you be yourself. Yeah, chop life, live life, do the things when go make you happy. Them know like I'm too much left. Everybody gets your own flavor. Chop life, drink up, one glass of martini to step down. Them know like I'm too much left. Everybody gets your own flavor. Oh, yeah, flavor. Elele, 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 yeah.
Maltina, share happiness.
Fuze Unbothered.
There's another story, and this story is has to do with Mr. Okon, Bishop Ume.
I feel like when I hear Mr. Okon, it doesn't seem like a serious story, but let's hear what you have, though.
Yeah, well, you guess right, because I mean, it's really not that serious, but it's obviously about the election, because that's what everybody's talking about right now. And he has come out and he has said, you know what? I'm going to sell my votes. I don't care what all of you say. I want to sell my vote. Now, I believe that he's joking when he's saying this, but he makes a solid point, in that video that he posted online. He says, I will sell my vote, but I'm going to sell it at the rate of 1,000, I think that should be $1,000 per day. And he's calculating the total amount.
What does that mean, please?
He's calculating the total amount for the 4-year period where the politicians are most likely to come back again to ask for the vote again after another 4 years. Now, he's using 4 years as a standard. It's like $1,000 per day for 4 years. He arrives at about, over 700 million naira. And he says that's the price that he wants to sell his vote.
You see all this, don't sell your vote, don't sell your vote. All those don't sell your vote no concern me, because I have my PVC and I will sell my vote. Most of all these politicians, when they come to buy vote, they will just appear in your life once in every 4 years and come and buy your vote in the polling unit and then disappear and come again in the next election year after 4 years. So, my vote I am going to sell, I will sell it payday. We have 365 days in a year. Times 4 years is going to be 1,460 days. So I am going to give my vote at a giveaway price of $1,000 a day. Yes. So at $1,000 a day times 1,460 days.
And I think that makes so much sense, because he's basically trying to say that my vote costs way much more than polo and cap. Costs way much more than polo and cap. I think what he's doing with this is trying to let people know that there's a standard, though, that, it's not a good thing to sell votes, but just so you know, we're not even cheap in the first place. We've passed the stage where 2K does it, where a bag of rice does it. Like, we're not collecting bribes, or we're not selling votes, but we're just even saying that with the rate of suffering that we've been through as people in this country, we're not about to jeopardize our future for polo and cap, or for even ex-governor of Gombe State came out to say something similar. He says the asking price, the starting price, if you want to actually sell your vote to any politician right now, is $50,000. $50,000. So I mean, this is
I kind of agree with what Mr. Okon said. What am I saying? I kind of agree with what he just said. I mean, as much as we feel like it's a joke, it's kind of like an awareness. And I'm so happy that this year is one of those. I think this is the only year where people have actually come and say, you know what, we die here. We're either giving our vote to the right person or nothing, right? So I feel like, I saw the video. It was quite hilarious, but I mean, it's actually an awareness to get your PVC and vote for the right candidate.
Exactly. Speaking of voting, still, the INEC is considering extending, voter registration to 60 days from the original date that it was deadline. So I mean, still,
which is quite impressive. Because we have a lot of people
that are still saying, "How can I register? How can I vote? How can I register? How can I transfer my PVC?" A lot of questions are still being asked, even at
and
this
then
point.
you go to get your PVC, and there's a large crowd gathered to get. I mean, it's only fair. Election is still in February 2020, so
give us more time. That's a good idea. So speaking of giving more time, we'll be back right after this break. Don't go anywhere.
I used to care for the world's opinion. I used to fear their rejection. I used to beg for validation. And I used to wait to be seen. But the fire that burned in me was hotter. And the passion that lived in me had a voice of its own. So I stopped waiting and started to act. I stopped fearing and started to live. And when they thought I'd fail, I stepped into my power.
Because my time is now.
Amstel Malta, be your best.
Fuze Unbothered.
All right, so there's another story on social media about a lady who said she waited 9 years before finally celebrating her wedding. Now the story is not clear, so we don't know if she actually waited 9 years in a relation, like she was in a relationship for 9 years, or she was celibate for 9 years, or like the story is not clear. But so I would like to ask, can you actually wait 9 years for your partner before you actually tie the knot?
9 years is such a long time.
It's a long time, man.
You know, but depending on the different, you know, situations, like if it's 9 years being celibate, waiting for someone, because I think looking through the whole story, that's what it looks like. It looks like she was, you know, probably being celibate and saying, "Oh, I'm waiting for the right man."
But that's it. She should have said it.
You should have clearly said it, right? Anyway, she said, you know, it's been worth the wait, even in the period of COVID. And we know how COVID was hard, you know. But for me, I think it's better to wait longer. As hard as it is, as scary,
9 years.
as lonely. If she was waiting 9 years for a man that she was dating, and that man did not propose to her, then that does not make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Because that's like a whole lifetime. That's like a whole human being, you know, lifetime, you know, that you guys are waiting for and wasting time. So if it was that she was dating this man, she was waiting for him for a whole 9 years, there's a problem there. So I cannot partake of that kind of thing, right? But if she was waiting for the right person for 9 years, I think it's reasonable, because considering how many more years you have to go with this person, considering that is a whole lifetime. You understand?
I would say
it's okay.
maybe she was in school. You know, most times when you're probably in a long distance relationship, he's here, you're over there abroad studying and all that. But like being in the same city,
9 years,
seeing each other, waiting for 9 years. What? I mean, add 9 years to your age. Like, I mean, that's quite a long time. Of course, people do it. We've seen a lot of people do it.
I see long dating periods like that. And we've seen the worst of it, where those long dating periods or long periods of waiting like that, when you're dating someone, does not eventually lead to even marriage.
Yeah.
So the breakfast is usually very breakfast, lunch, and dinner served all at once.
And most people actually break up in between. Like maybe they go
and
apart
come back,
for come back and all that. 9 years. We wish you all the very best. Now it's quite interesting. I saw a comment by someone saying, this is actually not a good prayer, but I'm just going to read it out. May her marriage never be Messia Igbealized. May it never be Nancyized, Tontolized, Coralized, Nkechilized.
I think
life and all that. I'm sure we already know what they're talking about.
This person is a drama queen or king, because you could have easily just said, may her marriage not break up. But you just have to do this.
People.
You just have to do this. Why? Come on. But for me though, I think I can. I think marriage is a long period of time. That's why I had to like refer to the fact that she said, you know, even in the periods of COVID, in as much as in the periods of COVID, people needed companionship way more.
Yeah.
Don't forget that in the periods of COVID where we had like domestic case abuse cases on the rise, because people were just finding out after staying home, after being trapped in the same house together,
he's not what
that they were not compatible in the first place. It's better to wait long and get it right than to get in and get out right after.
That's right.
So I mean,
all right, that's much you can take today on Fuze Unbothered. Don't forget to continue the conversation on Instagram at Fuze_local. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Fuze. That's CHEFUCE. And of course, follow me on all social media platforms at _Madichi.
Link up with me on Instagram at Gabby.Gabby.
That's right. Until next time, stay fused and get your PVC.
Upfront and personal, world-class business, world-class consultants.